Hello students, today we are talking about reader response theory. Reader response theory is based on the assumption that meaning of the text is based on the life experience of readers. A competent reader can understand and perceive deeper meanings from ambiguities and metaphors in a text. This means that a perfect reader can understand and relate his personal experiences with the incidents mentioned in a textbook. Readers analyze the text on the basis of their personal experience, their mental condition, and their awareness of literary devices. Readers read a text with certain expectations which these books may or may not fulfill. So this is the content of reader response theory. Each reader reads a text with lots of expectations, and they may fulfill that also when they read a book. So an important theorist in this field is Norman Holland, and his most important work is The Dynamics of Literary Response, published in the year 1968. In this work, Norman Holland is saying that readers read a text to fulfill their fantasies. A skilled reader can connect or relate his secret desires and fears with the incidents mentioned in a textbook. This is the main content of the main idea of Norman Holland is that a perfect reader can connect his desires and fears with the incidents mentioned in a particular book. For example, some of us when read a book that the hero and heroine of that novel is getting married and they are leading a very happy, joyful life, we also feel a kind of happiness, because in our real life it was not possible, it is not always possible to marry a person whom we love. But when we read in a novel that the hero and the lovers are marrying and enjoying a peaceful life, obviously we are feeling a kind of happiness. This is a type of relating our life expectations and desires with the incidents of that particular work. This is what Norman Holland mentioned in the book The Dynamics of Literary Response. The connection between text and personal experience, this gives literature its power and drive. Reading thus becomes an enjoyable experience when the fantasies and desires which are unacceptable to others becomes acceptable, and dreams of a reader comes true through literary images and themes. That means the desires, the hidden aspirations, the hidden joys of a reader comes true in a novel or a film. And this is possible only through literary images and themes in a literary work. Holland says that many of our desires and fears are unconscious. They lies in the deeper level of our mind, that is unconscious level, and So literature fulfills these sentiments of readers in an unconscious way. That means when we read the marriage of two persons in a novel, because it gives us happiness, because in the deeper mind we may be separated from our lover. So when we read that the love life of two persons becomes successful, we also feels happiness. So this is in such an unconscious way, literature gives us happiness, and this is the real power of a book or literature. In his another work, Reader's Reading, published in the year 1975, Holland says that readers derive meaning and respond to literature in terms of their own lifestyle. The lifestyle is otherwise called core. So the name he mentioned for lifestyle is called core, C-O-R-E, core. This is the character, personality and identity. Based on these things, different readers will interpret and take meanings differently. Every reader develops different meanings of a text based on their lifestyle, because based on the basis of their personal experiences and cultural social backgrounds, readers may interpret the textbook or a novel differently. This is what Holland is saying. Holland also says that individuals from same cultural group may share same way of thinking. So this is another important concept in reader's response theory, that in a particular group of people, they will share common interests. They may think in the same way, but it may be different from other group. This is what Holland is saying in the work Reader's Reading. Another important writer in this field is StanleyFish. StanleyFish is famous for the concept interpretive community. He's just like he's also sharing the ideas of NormanHolland, that's about common interest in a particular group. Meanings are established through a common agreement or consensus among a group of readers. This is called interpretive community. This means that in simple terms we can say that in a particular group or a caste or a race, people of that particular race may have same interest. In some areas people may support love marriages, but in some states people severely oppose love marriages. So this is, for example, this is an excellent example of interpretive community. According to StanleyFish, a reader does not want to know what a text wants to tell or means. The reader is not at all bothered about the intentions of that writer. Instead, he is only interested in what the text does when a reader opens and read it. So a reader is, in simple terms, a reader is interested only about the enjoyment or happiness which he gets when he reads a book. Literary devices and stylistic features have relevance or importance only when the reader reads and interprets them. So we can say that a text has no existence without its readers. So a textbook gets its importance or relevance only when the readers read it thoroughly and he enjoys and interprets the literary devices like concepts, images, similes, and he has to read those and he has to interpret and take meaning from that. Then only a textbook becomes relevant. Otherwise, without this such reading, a text cannot exist. So we can say that a text has no existence without its readers. A reader projects or expects his or her personal, psychological, social and cultural assumptions onto the text and makes meaning out of it. This means that each reader comes from different background, different social, cultural, political and psychological backgrounds. The experience of one person may differ from the experience of another person. This is called context. Contextual talking and contextual thinking. That means a person's experiences, his the surroundings, background of that person affects him a lot, and he will think accordingly. He will interpret the text accordingly. So the interpretation I am giving for a text is entirely different from the interpretations given by another one person. This is called contextual thinking, mentioned by StanleyFish. And so what a person understands when he reads is determined by the social, cultural, psychological context of that reader. This means that context of a reader influence him a lot. Every person comes from different psychological, social and cultural background. So they may interpret a textbook differently. This is what StanleyFish is saying in his work, in his concept interpretive communities. This can be easily explained that when we in a shopping mall, when we suddenly see one of our friend, we may call him Macha or Sala, Sali, etc., etc. So it's a friendly situation. This is one type of context. But another type of context is when we are sitting in our office in front of our boss. We have to behave in a very polite manner, formal manner. This is another type of context. So these are the two different social contexts. This is what StanleyFish is mentioning in his works. And another context is a psychological context. Suppose if I am a widow who is reading a book on war, and when she suddenly she may think about her husband, because he's also died in a war or something like that. So she can relate it easily. This is psychological context. So thank you.